Hey everyone, Matt Pisarcik from rsuEmporium.com. Today, coming at you with a look at our new sensitive skin shaving kit. We're gonna give all the products a whirl. Let's get started. So I'll actually talk while I'm doing this. Normally I'm just doing this quietly to myself and you guys see a little cut down of it, but so today's video is all about sensitive skin, and I am someone who has suffered with sensitive skin. Now, I really honestly don't really believe so much in the curse of sensitive skin. I would just say that some people's beard is more prone to cause issues. And sometimes it's the skin, but I really think it's the beard in the sense that, you can get ingrown hairs or razor rash. And I mean, I'm not obtuse to the fact that, of course, some people do have sensitivities to perfume oils or nickel or whatever. Sometimes even citrus notes or cinnamon oil, different things in soaps can actually cause sensitivity. So let's talk all about that. So the very first thing I'm doing is I'm using a product that I personally use a lot, which is always part of combating sensitive skin, is getting to know what products work good for you and then sticking with them. And it doesn't mean you can't have variety outside of that, but it kind of means having a baseline fundamental product that you can kind of keep on going back to or maybe use throughout the week to kind of help with your skin and help with your beard. And one of them for me, I've talked about a million times, and it's not an endorsement, I swear I'm not paid by Parasso. We do sell it obviously, but is the Parasso Pre-Post, the white for sensitive skin. And the whole line of the Pre-Post has green tea, oatmeal, has a lot of great things for your skin. But more than anything, for me, is that it really helps to get my beard prepped. And I think it's a huge component of sensitive skin or shaving to avoid irritation, is to make sure your skin's prepped. Ideally, as you guys know, the best time to shave is after a nice shower, but I don't have that luxury here, so I just wanted to make sure I used a lot of water and I really worked it in with my fingers and even sometimes my fingernails to help with if I do have any ingrowns, to help dig them out before I even start shaving. I know it sounds weird, but you'd be surprised. Part two is gonna be, again, the same matching Parasso shaving cream. This is, again, the sensitive skin line with green tea and oatmeal. It's fantastic, very light fragrance, very good performance. Being a cream, I could easily use a bowl and lather it up, and that's fine. Again, with sensitive skin, I would say that one of the most beneficial things you can do is to use a brush to exfoliate, to lift up hair, to help dig out any ingrowns. I'm gonna use our Razor Emporium Badger, because that's what comes in the kit. But if you're someone who, and Badger is kind of always the go-to for most people. It's the most popular hair type for brushes. I know there's other things out there. If you are someone who has especially bad ingrown hairs, I would suggest a boar hairbrush. Badger, especially this is like a Best Badger, is gonna be kind of scratchy. The combination of scratchy and soft enough to really do, I think, a good combination job for most skin types. Sometimes boar hair, if you have real sensitive skin, actually could not be the best thing because it's maybe too abrasive. That's why for our kit we put the Badger. But the real particular one is the ingrowns. If it's not so much the skin, it's just more of I'm prone to ingrown hairs. I have curly hair. I have hair that just wants to curl back down. A lot of times, people who are African American and they have real curly hair, you'll see at the lower part of their neck. Boar hair brush would work great. And I've helped a lot of folks out who've come through our shop. And I'm happy to report that a lot of times they'll come back a month later to buy some aftershave or something else, and they'll say, hey, thank you so much, it really worked. So, little tip there. So I'm spending a lot of time making a lather here. Again, I'm really scrubbing. You're noticing I'm not holding it back here. You can, of course. I actually really like to hold the knot. I find I'm able to control it better. Scrub, really work. And I'm also gonna spend some time going against the grain, kind of scrubbing against the grain. The point of this is to really help dig out any potential ingrown hairs and lift everything up. Also is a great way to agitate your lather. And if you didn't already know, we are going for the Cool Whip. We're going for Cool Whip consistency. I wanted to say cool cream. That didn't make any sense. We're going for Cool Whip consistency. Or whipped cream, that's what it is. Whipped cream or Cool Whip. So really nice and a lot of peaks, as they always say. And I did some scrubbing. Now I'm gonna just kind of brush. After I've done a lot of scrubbing and brush, don't only do brush. This should be the last thing you do. Is to brush. I'm going against the grain as much as possible. And that's another huge tip for sensitive skin, is you need to learn your grain map. And I've said this a million times, but I want to emphasize it on the video today. Grow the hair out for at least 3, 4, 5 days, a long weekend or a holiday, or tell your boss, or if you're working from home these days, then you have time. So grow the hair out, take a look at what direction things go, and make sure you are always going with the grain. That's what we're going to do today. So I got my lather, it's nice and hydrated, lots of water, lots of pre-cream, lots of shaving cream. We're gonna get started. For our razor of choice for the sensitive skin kit, I thought that the best thing would be an adjustable razor, just because it can adjust to just about anyone's desired skin choice. And I didn't want to put a super high-end razor in here. You know, with kits, we always are trying to make sure it's affordable and there's a good entry point for people. And we're gonna load it up. And so this is, again, our sensitive skin sample pack. A lot of companies that do sample packs just throw random blades together, and it's kind of like just a variety pack. I don't call it variety, I call it sample. And I call that because I want to take a sampling of a different kind of segment of the blades and give it to people. So we include with this kit, this handy dandy little guide that shows the different brands and kind of our own personal rating of where these kind of are on a scale of 1 to 5. 1 being very mild, 5 being very sharp. So we have Astra Green at 3, Rapier Swedish Steel at 3.5, Persona at 4, Perma Sharp at 4, and Kai at 4.5. You notice I didn't include Feather. I didn't include a lot of other ones. People say, oh, Feather's the best. Well, you know what? The more you hear about it, a lot of people can use Feather and love it. A lot of people, they can't use Feather. So I didn't want to include that with a sensitive skin kit. My favorite, as you guys probably know, my go-to is going to be the Perma Sharp. This is going to be a blade that to me reminds me a lot of the Paul Silver that are no longer available. I can't find them. Used to be my favorite blade. I'm pretty sure that they are both coming out of the same factory. They may have lost the rights to the word Paul Silver or licensing, because I did used to come from Poland a long time ago. So who knows what happened there. But to me, it's almost indistinguishable. So I'm going to use the Perma Sharp. Now this is the Merkur Progress. You do notice when you go to load it that there's a triangle on one side and there's a hash mark on the cap to correspond. And you want to make sure those are on the same side. That way that your adjustment numbers are kind of basically synced up, or else the numbers won't mean anything. So it should stop close to this plus mark down here. So I'm going to start, and this is a recommendation for anyone with sensitive skin, or anyone really. I'm just going to start kind of towards just barely opening up, 1, 1.5. And that feels really nice. It doesn't feel the closest ever, but it's nice. That's another suggestion I have for combating sensitive skin, is going to be to take your time and don't try to go for the BBS shave, guys. That's half the reason people are getting irritation, is they're trying to go for this ultra smooth 3-pass shave, glass, and they end up doing damage in the process. So stop that. Just try to go for par. Try to get a nice, clean, close shave, just with 1 pass. That's what we're gonna do today. So I bumped it up just a little bit. I'm now up towards, looks like 2.5. It's feeling fine. I'm probably just gonna leave it there, honestly. I could go closer, but not worried about it. I did use cold water. Another big advice I have for anyone. I know we all love hot water, and for most people, hot water is just fine. But if you do have sensitive skin, try the routine of 10 days, cold water, shaving every other day. And you may be surprised with the results. It usually is my cure-all for people. If they write me an email, Matt, I've tried everything. I don't know what to do. I keep on buying more and more things to solve the problem. I'm like, just stop. Just Take 10 days, shave every other day, cold water, one pass with the grain, and let me know if that didn't clear it up. And usually it does. We've done a whole video on cold water, but basically in short, cold water actually helps keep the skin tight, and it helps raise the hair up. Think of like goosebumps. When your skin gets cold and tight, the hairs go up. And it allows the skin to do its job and not allow it to be stretched too much and allow the blade to cut kind of below the skin level. That's what other thing that happens, especially with the cartridge razors, but it could even happen with double edge. Another little tip I'm going to throw at you guys, I'm just rapid firing these ones off to you. There's so many little tips I've picked up on and so much advice. Do a little bit of skin stretching. You don't have to, but just pulling back with a finger or two really, really helps. And another reason I have the adjustable on my neck, I'm going to bump down just a little bit. Remember, it's adjustable not just like, oh, I like this setting. It's maybe for different parts of your face. So you may find your cheeks cheeks usually are more rugged for most people. They can maybe withstand a little more aggressiveness, but maybe your neck needs to be a little more tender, a little more dialed down. So there we go with the skin stretch. Following my grain pattern. Remember, it's not just down and up. You got to really know which direction. And for me, I know I kind of spiral this way. Over here, I kind of spiral that way. So I'm following that. I'm going to bump it back up just a half turn. My other cheek. And I've said this a million times. If you aren't trying to combat the sensitive skin, going for par is a good thing because, in terms of how close to the shave, I think it's more important to have a clean complexion and look good than it is to have this like imaginary person come up to you with a credit card and go, swipe, oh, that wasn't as close as it could be. No one's saying that. But they will notice if you've got 1 million ingrown hairs and you got razor rash all over your neck. They will notice that. Around my goatee area, I'm actually going to bump it up even more. Whoa, 3.5. This is some of the coarsest hair on my face. But real quick, back to the blades. I've said this in other videos. Blades are not all the same, and it's not about the best blade. It's about the best blade for you, and you need to experiment. We give you a couple different ones, 5 different brands here. Just do one shave with each. Don't run through the whole 5-pack first of a Kai or the Persona. Just do one shave with each, and try to either make a mental note, or sometimes I tell customers use the back of this piece of paper, or just write on it and maybe put a plus mark, like plus that's good, or minus that wasn't so good, or minus was really bad. Try to make little notes because you'll be surprised how much you may forget about it as you're going. You're 4 or 5 days in this routine, and you're like, did I like the Rapier better than the Persona? So I'm taking it real easy. I'm currently at around 2. This part of my neck's a little tricky. It starts to go this way. So I stretch in the opposite direction. And make sure the pressure, you're just using a very, very light pressure. You maybe have read that before and it's old news to you, but let the weight of the razor do the work. Very light touch. It's not a cartridge. Your job is to maintain a consistent angle and consistent pressure. Almost there. Let's clean up and see where I'm at. I know none of these, if you're an experienced viewer, you've been watching our channel for a while, none of these are rocket science, but we wanted to really put all these little tidbits of information in one video. We wanted to really show this kit off and have it be a good resource if people are afflicted by sensitive skin, or think they do, or have had some razor rash issues and they want to try to clear that up. Double edge is a fantastic method of doing that. The multi-blade razors, I'm not going to dog them. They're great for a lot of people. There's a reason why they're popular. They're effective. They're easy to use. They feel nice, good shave for the most part. But for some people, they can cause irritation issues. So double edge can prevent some of that. I'm getting so much salt and pepper, guys, in my beard. I'm like, is that lather or is that just some of my grays coming out? I can't complain. Some people lose their hair altogether, so I'm happy I have a nice thick head of hair. If it has a little salt and pepper, that's just a distinguished look, as my wife says. So that is all I've got. I feel nice. I feel clean. Again, am I going to pass the credit card test? No. But I did not cut myself. I didn't cause any major irritation. I do have one little existing ingrown hair over here that was a mistake from trying another brand of razor blades. I say this before, guys. Sometimes I wish I could just use the products that always work for me, but I end up having to try things out all the time, and sometimes it doesn't end well. But part of the sensitive skin for you guys out there, when you find the products that work, try to get in the consistency of using those products, and you'll find that your skin and your complexion look great. Last but not least, I'm using the third part of the trio of the Parasso White collection, and that is their aftershave balm. Again, if you're someone with sensitive skin, that's the word of the day. I should hear like a little ding every time I said it on this video. If you are someone with sensitive skin, you probably would be benefited from a balm and not a aftershave splash. The splash may feel great. You may get that nice Home Alone, clean, tight feeling, but it can actually dry your skin out, and it can end up causing more issues because then your skin is combating the dryness by making more oil. Oil helps cause maybe acne or razor rash, and so it's a vicious cycle. So the balm is just a fancy word for lotion, and it feels great. It's going to moisturize. Remember that the shaving process ends up doing a lot of exfoliation, so you need to get, replace that moisture you took off, that top layer of skin, and the balm does a great job of that. I end up using the Parasso balm pretty much every day. I even use it as a face lotion, so it's a great product. It's non-comedogenic. I think I said that right. Maybe not. It won't clog your pores, so it's a great product all around. I am just going to do a little cleanup of my razor. I guess I managed to pull this retention clip out. Well, that's fantastic. I guess that's how you take apart the Mercur Progress. You pull this little knob out. I'm just going to show you guys on camera if that ever happens to you. Pull your Leatherman out. And yes, I always walk around the Leatherman, and you just squeeze this little retention clip. And let's see if we can get it back in there. Bam. That little clip just holds this in. It's the same on the Rex Ambassador, if you guys were wondering. So we got our razor all dried off. Another piece of advice if you're new to double-edged shaving, take the blade out if you're not using it, or at least take the pressure off so it's not in direct contact with the metal. I don't care if it's stainless steel or chrome. None of these metals enjoy having a cheap stainless steel blade against them. They actually can form rust. And remember, stainless steel does not mean stain proof, it means stain resistant, and the blades are probably the lowest grade of stainless steel you can have, and they end up causing little rust marks. And people write to us and say, oh my gosh, my high-end stainless steel razor is rusting, what's wrong? And I said, did you take the blade out? Why would I take the blade out? Well, these cheap stainless steel blades can actually deposit tea stains, as they're called, little rust marks on any kind of razor handle, whether it's chrome or nickel or stainless steel or brass, whatever. So always take those out. Another piece of advice, if you're new to shaving and you're getting our sensitive skin kit, we don't want to see rust marks on there. And that can also affect your skin. If you have a bunch of rust, it's not going to be good for your, getting that on your skin. So I think that's all the advice I got today for our sensitive skin kit. The only component I did not use was a styptic pencil. This is again a thing that if you do get a cut or a nick, you would have this as part of your kit to put that on and just get it wet under the sink and just kind of rub it on real quick, and you'd be surprised how quickly that seals up a cut. But all these components are put together by us to help you guys get the best quality shave. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. If you've used some of this, or if you've been afflicted by sensitive skin and you've overcome it and you've mastered it and beat it, tell me how you did it. I want to know below. And if you do leave a comment, you're entered in to win this, the official Razor Emporium black and blue t-shirt. We appreciate you guys watching our video. Share it with everyone you know. Like the video, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time at Razor Emporium for all things vintage shaving. Thanks, guys.